You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Hi, I'm Ben Stiller from the Academy Awards snub movie Dodgeball. You know, this election is a lot like Dodgeball. Kamala Harris is the average Joe underdog, and no, this isn't a time for jokes. You know what? It's way too important. Donald Trump wants to terminate the Constitution. Project 2025 will give him nearly unlimited power. We can't let him get anywhere near the White House. So, vote for Kamala Harris. Yeah, see, that was better. The serious version was much better, right?
Paid for by Harris for President.
Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together with good drinks and good people. Smirnoff is the world's #1 vodka and is an official vodka partner of the NFL. And this year, Smirnoff is giving fans in select areas of the country a chance to win the ultimate game day experience. From tickets to sideline passes and much more, just head to WeDoGameDays.com until November 15, 2024 to enter for your chance to win. That's WeDoGameDays.com. Smirnoff, we do game days.
Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff number 21 vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anyone under legal drinking age. No purchase necessary. 21 plus. Ends November 15, 2024. See rules at website for participating area and other important details. Sponsored by Diageo Americas Inc., New York, New York.
Shadow Show.
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 Shadow in it.
So Greg Cote doesn't have his headsets on. He's a professional broadcaster. He's not anywhere near the microphone. But Chris, he brought in all his props. He's ready. He's got Halloween props. He's got his hat to sell his book. But headsets on, doesn't know how to do it. Doesn't know
Greg,
how to.
The headset goes above the hat.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
We're 5 minutes from showtime. To be, in fairness to Greg. I mean,
For the people, no one can see this.
No one can
see
this.
He just took his hat off to put the headsets on,
this is
to
so
put the
good.
hat over
Tip of
his
the cap, yeah.
Chris, this is so good. Your father came in and he's been maniacally grinning because he just has props. He's got a bunch of props. He came in with them under his arm in what looked like a flimsy grocery bag. And he was so pleased with himself that he had 7 or 8 things to show off that he forgot to put on his headset. And then when Chris tells him to put on the headset, he takes off his baseball cap, puts on the headset, and then goes to put the baseball cap on over the headset.
Trucker's hat.
yeah.
It's a handsome hat, Greg.
Thank you, Billy.
Is there a way I could acquire one of those?
You mean the back of my day hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went on Amazon. I Googled homemade hats, and this came up.
Wow.
I got it for $1.99.
Wow.
They delivered it, like, not only the next day, later that afternoon.
Huh.
So I feel really fortunate.
So you went,
bless Jeff Bezos.
So you went on Amazon to Google hats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Google homemade hats.
On Amazon, though.
I don't know. Didn't I? Yeah, I think I did.
he Googled Amazon.
Little search, yeah.
Exactly right.
What I'm telling you is the earth is being destroyed by people like Greg Cote learning how to order things for $1.99.
Oh, yeah, you know
wasting gas,
Yeah.
wasting.
No, I'm saving gas.
He's saving gas.
I'm not going to a retail
Correct.
store.
Right.
And I love retail stores.
Yeah.
Don't get me
They got
wrong.
to drop it off, though.
Well, Amazon trucks.
No, the Amazon trucks, I don't know if you've caught on, or there's a lot of electric Amazon trucks now, and I actually looked them up because I was curious as to, like, who makes these trucks, because they're kind of funky looking. They're not like your regular delivery trucks. It's Rivian, and Rivian, if you know, is like an electric car company, very pricey. They have, like, lots of SUVs, and then I was doing more research, and I was like, well, why is it, like, Amazon's probably paying upwards of, like, $120,000 for each Rivian van. How does this make sense financially? And then I found out Amazon owns like 17% of Rivian. So Rivian's vans, if you want one of those vans for yourself, because they're cool looking and they're nice and big, right now they're only doing bulk orders on those vans. And Amazon, I think, has like, don't quote me on this, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20,000. It could be like 100. I'm going to look more into this. I'll give you more info. I know you don't want this info, but I was curious as to the Amazon vans.
I do want the info. I just wanted the completed info, not just partial
Well, he's
info.
not done
that
yet.
gives
Yeah.
us a bunch more questions as opposed to
To be
very many
determined,
answers.
yeah.
I don't know how their business works either. It struck me as odd that they would have that many vans and make any money when they're delivering something to Greg Cote that cost $1.99.
Right.
It seemed like whatever it is the cost is to get that to him was more than what it is that he paid for the item. him.
Well, they're making other deliveries, too. It's not like they just went to his house and went home.
Yes, thank you.
I don't understand how the business works. I don't think any of us do. There are an alarming number of Amazon trucks out there that don't make sense to me how it is that he's able to own that many trucks.
I understand how it works. You buy something, you don't like it, you say, I want to send it back, and sometimes they're like, you know what, just keep it.
Yeah. They've changed that, though. They've changed the policy. Like, for certain people, like that, I've seen warnings on the internet.
What does that mean?
No, I've seen warnings on the internet. It's like if you've updated, like, the latest terms and conditions or whatever, like, now they may charge you for, like, returns. Or, like, there's fancy print in there where it's like, you may not get a refund. Like, you may send it back, and we may determine you're not getting a refund. In 2023, they had 10,000 Rivian electric delivery vans.
And by the way, they keep track of everything. If you're like a serial returner, they know that. If you like return more than 3 items in a row, you're red flagged.
If you're Amazon, right, and you have all of these delivery trucks going on there, and I'm just wondering aloud, so I don't know if anyone has the answer, right? Does it make sense to, like, insure each van? Like, why don't you just start your own auto insurance company for your own vans if you're Amazon?
All of which you could have answered before you started this conversation.
He's still researching.
About Amazon.
Curiosity. I'm just throwing it out there.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Billy, what are you doing in your phone? You have ADD. What are you doing in your phone?
Right now, specifically, I'm trying to schedule some God Bless Football interviews.
You were going to start the show, though. You were going to start our show.
Oh,
today. You forgot to start our show today.
I'm not certain that's how we left it, but I understand what you're saying, Dan.
No, I think we discussed how we were going to start. I thought you were going to introduce, as you always do, where you start out the show. You say Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, 9:01 a.m. Good morning, it's Dan Le Batard. We're here.
81 degrees out.
Yeah, and then we get going, as is per custom. And then Greg's here. And he has his props. I'm a little worried about Greg because I see his latest book that came out yesterday back in my day, but I don't see Pride of a Lion, which I wonder if that's discontinued or we've forgotten about. But Greg, that's not what we're talking about. The Yankees.
The Yanks.
Dan, I'm very conflicted on this team. I do not want to see the Yankees succeed, but I also do not want to see the World Series end. And this might be viewed as a controversial take, but there was a play yesterday with Mookie Betts going out into the crowd, and then a fan straight up just tried to rip his glove open and steal the ball out, which he did.
2 fans, Billy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there's one primary suspect there, right? Here's the thing. I know that a lot of people are not happy with, what went on there with the fans. Now, counterpoint, I feel like Mookie Betts was trespassing. Like, he went out into the crowd, right?
Yep.
Like, had that fan got onto the field, he would have been arrested or thrown out of the game at the very least, right? Mookie goes into the crowd, and the fan did what the fan should do. Like, the fan, I would say, rallied the Yankees here.
Yes.
Yankees were looking like dead on arrival. This World Series was done. The Dodgers are just going to come in and celebrate a World Series championship on their home turf. And the Yankees fan said, no, not on my watch. I'm going to keep this series alive. And I feel like that fan should be commended.
I am totally with you. Both fans, it was premeditated. They said if a ball came their way, they were going to do this to Mookie Betts. They did it. And to me, it was a signal to the Yankee players, hey, we're out here willing to do whatever we have to do to win this game. You guys need to follow suit. And look what happened after that play. They motivated the Yankees. I mean, they should be a part of the parade when the Yankees win this World Series. I'm serious.
Opposite Jeffrey Meyer, or whatever his name was.
Those 2 fans are the biggest losers in sports.
Whoa.
What?
And every
People
Yankee
are asking for
fan,
their autographs.
Every Yankee fan in America and beyond should be looking at them going, no, you can't do it. That was egregious. That was felonious what they did. Somewhere Steve Bartman is going, what I did was like a little misdemeanor. What these guys did was a felony, and it was the guy grabbing the ball.
Felony?
The guy, a baseball
Trespassing.
felony. A fan
a
felony.
A baseball felony, okay.
It was a fan felony.
Right.
One guy grabs his arm, the other guy literally opens his glove and grabs the ball. That was an embarrassment. Those 2 guys should be banned from ever attending an MLB game again.
What?
Nationwide.
I'd give him a ring. If
Yes.
the Yankees win, I'd give him a ring.
I'd let him throw out the first pitch tonight.
Wow,
Yeah.
I like that.
While being banned.
You know what? I give him a microphone and I say, you know what? Sing a couple of Fat Joe songs for us.
I just want to know if the guy in the gray, the fan further deeper in the ballpark, does he know how baseball works? This ball is clearly caught already by Mookie Betts, and this guy in slow motion. It's hilarious to watch. As if, how does he does he think if he pops that ball out that it's not a catch anymore? What was the end game for this fan?
And the beautiful thing, the justice in all this is that he didn't get the ball. Was that the ball popped out and went back on the field. Had he gotten the ball, I wish it would have exploded in his hand. Not to injure him, but just to scare him. That's right. An exploding baseball.
What would
not
come
to
out?
hurt him,
Right.
but just to scare him.
What comes out of the ball when it explodes? Like confetti, or is it like
confetti.
actual?
Yeah,
so it's not
like a joke ball.
So this ball's not actually made with thread.
Right, exactly.
It's a joke ball that goes into the
right,
stands, just in case this
So
happened.
it's just to startle the fan.
Yes.
No harm, actually. You're not just lest anyone think that your take is aggressive to
Right.
hurt someone. You're
Never.
saying,
I'm a pacifist.
Okay, you're saying the baseball should explode to just surprise and startle him
Yeah.
with confetti in his
Right,
face.
make a big bang sound, but not actually injure.
I love the fans making the case to the umpire. Like, what do you mean we did something wrong? Look, this is the line.
That's the best part. 'Cause it's like when you play pickup and you're like, the hand's part of the ball. That's not a foul. Are you kidding me? Trying to explain the rules to somebody else?
Yeah, but to Billy's point, okay, Mookie went into their territory.
Exactly
the fans
right.
didn't jump out on the field. Mookie went into the stands.
I'd press charges.
And Mookie's not even upset. He's fine with it.
Just Greg, before we move too far past this, should every ball be equipped with like confetti just in case this situation happens, or like you should know when it's going to happen, and then you kind of put the joke ball in there?
I think all baseballs should be made to all of a sudden transition very quickly into exploding balls.
Right.
Okay, the minute that ball was in the glove and the guy tried to extract it somewhere in a studio, a MLB studio somewhere, you push a button and the ball transforms into an exploding ball, and all of a sudden the joke is on that Yankee fan.
Greg,
Okay.
I love your idea. Your idea, but the technology might be ahead of its time.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's an easier one. Have little electrodes inside the ball so you could shock the person if that happens.
Yeah.
Now you're hurting them, though. He was trying to avoid that.
Just a light
Just
shock.
a buzz.
Just
Just a
on a buzz.
buzz.
Like that.
Right.
Like a pen. You know when you get a pen? Oh.
I approve of that.
I tried
Do you?
Yeah.
initially to train my dog that way, and I felt guilty, even though they said that it's just a noise. They said the lowest electrical shock is just a noise. I don't know where you guys are doing this in terms of degrees, but you have to scare the fan enough to make it funny for everybody, but
Right.
not hurt the fan. And I don't think you could find the electrical dosage that does that perfectly.
How about a snake? A snake in a can.
Good idea.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, that's a good
Everyone
idea.
loves to watch the person who is being scared by the snake in a can. I mean,
Let's hear 'em out.
you love
Yeah.
it. I mean, if you're a spectator,
Every 10th ball has a real snake, though. So now you know.
now,
You know what?
now you've crossed the line.
Well, not a
Now it's
venomous one. Not
now
a
it's
venomous
ridiculous.
one.
Hear him out, Dan.
Yeah, not a venomous one. Just one in case. Some people are afraid of snakes, Dan. Are you?
I will tell you, I am not afraid of snakes.
I am. Wow. I'm not too proud to say
Okay.
it. I don't like snakes.
Crazy.
I don't fear them. I don't like them.
Okay, I'd like to stay on point for just a second. I know you guys want to wander into the wilderness here, and just
I don't. There's snakes
okay,
there.
please
I brought
stop.
up snakes,
Just please
I mean,
stop for
in a
just a
can.
second, Billy. All right, because now that we've
snakes.
gotten your attention, I'm grateful for it. Even though I didn't have it when I wanted it, I'm grateful that I have it now. Thank you for providing it amid your ADD and God bless football duties. During this segment, I just want to recap totally. During this segment, Greg Cote has accused those fans of a felony, and Billy, on the total other side, has said that Mookie Betts should press charges.
No, they should press charges against Mookie.
I'm sorry.
Not a felony, misdemeanor.
Forgive me.
Any
My bad.
fan felony, that's a fine.
Moving violation, if anything.
Look, it's moving very fast, so I'm having trouble keeping up. You're right. Billy, on the other side, has said those fans should press charges against Mookie Betts. Greg Cote says on the other side that they should be banned for life and, not hurt, but like shocked and punished in a way that makes him truly indignant.
I said they should throw out the first pitch tonight.
Okay, you did say that, but this is the part that got buried somehow in the first 8 minutes of insanity on this show, which is Stugotz just said matter-of-factly that the Yankees are coming back.
Oh, yeah. They are winning this World Series. They absolutely are. I know no team has ever done it in the history of baseball, except for the Red Sox and the ALCS, and we have a movie out right now, Meadowlark Media. It's on Netflix, and everyone tells me it's great. It'd be great if we have that movie out and the Yankees do it in the World Series. I mean,
great. And then you have your next movie 20 years from now when the Yankees did it. And then we're tracking down this guy to interview him. Be careful what you say about him now, because we may need him for an interview in 6, 7 years.
Zagak.
So I'd like to, a few minutes in, give you my thoughts on what happened here. Because I'd like to go to the video again, and I'd also like to freeze the video on the face of one of these New York fans, because I'm about to admit something that it's hard for me to admit. Stugotz, you're always making fun of me correctly about the fact that I have a need to be right. And what I am telling you is that this particular video that I'm going to stop so that you can see the fans on this face represents to me the single most wrong thing I've ever said in the history of the show, which is about 10 days ago or so, I said that Dodger fans should actively interfere with a Padre going into left field to steal a home run. And at the time, I did not have the visual. Now that I have the visual, I cannot believe how wrong I was, because freeze the face on the fan on the left here makes me hate New York so much that this person is now a celebrity. The fan on the left who is trying to catch this ball and makes the horrible face. Let's play the whole video for people so that they can see what's happening here, because two New York fans are conspiring together. One's holding his wrists. The other one is stealing an out of his glove unsuccessfully, and now both of them are famous. And I've never wanted New York to lose more, and I've always wanted New York to lose the most.
Thank you.
Because that fan cannot be rewarded for that. Never mind with celebrity. They cannot win the series so that he feels like that's in any way okay and that Stugotz and Billy are on his side.
First pitch,
I mean, that's the problem with American society, is that Stugotz is not wrong. He may well throw out the first pitch. If not,
he's banned for life from the stadium.
No, he's not. He's banned. They ejected him from that game, but welcomed him back to the next game. Look, this person's going to be a hero. These two people will absolutely be rewarded for this. Look at his face.
With a ring.
Look at the face on the left right there. That is New York fandom right there, trying to steal an out that's already recorded.
Clearly caught.
What a thief.
Does he know baseball? Clearly caught.
That is the worst stereotype of New York baseball fans right there. That is the worst stereotype for all time. The Yankees, everybody loves an underdog, right? So they're down 3-0 to the Lads. Everybody, all of a sudden, uncharacteristically, America is rooting for the Yankees. Not anymore.
The Lads?
Not after,
LA Dodgers.
The LA Dodgers.
Lads, yeah.
Lads,
that's I call them the Lads.
Yep.
But nobody outside of the Bronx and Stugotz is rooting for the Yankees anymore after that embarrassing display of fandom. Awful.
I think my favorite guy is Pinstripe Guy, because he's pinning Mookie Betts' wrist like you can't move. You're not getting away. Buddy, we're going to get this out of your hand one way or another. Even if we got to detach the hand. That's my favorite guy.
I'll say this, and I know Mike Schur is really going to hate this, but the guy there, the fan that you said you didn't like his face that's in the road grays, earned his pinstripes. I think you come to the next game. He earned his pinstripes. Next game, he comes in the home white pinstripes. He earned them last night.
All right, let's examine this for a second. The sideways baseball cap. The joy of finally prying it out too late. Because I do need to say, this isn't Bartman. This is still and forever and out.
I mean, Bartman was cub-on-cub crime. I mean, it's a totally different story.
Yes, it is different. But my point is, this didn't actually change the game in any way. It's just two people
it changed.
Did you see what happened after?
Dan.
I mean,
it changed the trajectory of the series.
Ask Volpe if it changed the game.
Okay, he's just like, no, you didn't catch it.
Look,
no.
It was still an out, and it affected not at all anything that came after that.
I like the visual of Mookie. We don't see it here, but he's actually being held up over the stands, and his feet are dangling like, oh, let me go.
Well, that's the thing. As long as your 2 feet aren't down, it's not a catch. We learned that on Monday. 1 foot down twice, not a catch. So if you keep him up airborne and his feet don't touch, ball's still in play. Live ball.
I have not enjoyed Tim Robinson's Detroiters as much as I wanted to because of how much I like this guy as a character. This is a scene from Tim Robinson 20 years from now after he's gained some weight. This is what a New York sports fan would do to be funny and represent New York in the worst possible way while being celebrated as a hero by New York because he's doing it in the worst possible way. Because these people will be heroes in New York, Stugotz, for the next 24 hours. Well, no, wait. You got to win the series. Like they are, for the moment, they'll have 24 hours of fame.
Right.
But you come back to win the series from here, even though all you've done is commit a crime against Mookie Betts that involved two people physically manhandling him, like prying his hands apart to take away an out, again, that had already been recorded as an out and is forever an out.
Regardless of what you do.
It's never changing as an out. In fact, the only other out there is you leaving the ballpark because they ejected you automatically for that behavior.
I think if I'm Aaron Boone there, I challenge that play just to double down. I'm like, Mookie didn't come down with that ball. Are we sure that was a catch?
Right.
Just to really escalate the situation.
Keep the fans here.
Exactly right.
That's one of those things where you like when a coach gets a technical foul on purpose to get the crowd riled up. Do the same things. Make a statement. We're going to review it. We know we're going to lose the challenge, but it's worth it.
Yeah. I'm looking here at them getting ejected. Are they getting high? Yep, some high fives. Yep,
Of course they are. Yes, of course they are.
Celebrating.
Why
They're
wouldn't
being
they?
carried out by the fans.
Duh.
Let's go Yankees!
Let's go Yankees!
The fact that they are heroes because the highlight of the Yankee season in the World Series is we've averted a sweep. we have somehow gotten to Aaron Judge is going to fail in one of the next few games so that we can yell all off season. But for right now, we get another game.
So Pinstripes is wearing a Mariano Rivera jersey, I believe.
Yes.
Tim Robinson, meanwhile, is wearing an Aaron Judge jersey. Yeah. Has he done more for the Yankees than Aaron Judge has during the World Series?
I think I think he had a ribby yesterday. The team was lifeless before this play. This was that spark. You just need someone to light the fire, and these guys did that.
Spark?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I think honestly here, because I'm alone. I'm the only one who thinks that these guys are...
I'm down the middle with it.
I bet you are.
What?
Are blank holes?
What is the human nature that makes heroes of those guys? I'm asking that question legitimately because obviously what they did was the worst breach of sportsmanship. Why are they heroes? Not just in Yankee Stadium, but to people here who support them. I don't understand it. I want to know.
I will give you a theory as someone who enjoys anarchy with sports and enjoys the funny with sports, but this is the natural culmination after the pandemic and the dehumanizing and throwing popcorn at Russell Westbrook of fan entitlement. We can behave with the players as we like, especially if we're trying to change the outcome of a game.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
These guys took the ultimate risk.
Yeah.
Permanent banning
Selflessness.
from any baseball game anywhere in order to save the Yankees season.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're heroes.
Yep.
They gave it up all on the line for you, New York. That's why they're heroes.
He is bigger than me.
The guy on the left thought he was helping. He thought it was not going to be an out if he pried the glove. Like, come on, the guy.
I don't agree.
They did help.
He didn't think he was helping. He thought he was getting a souvenir.
No, they were trying to help.
They were trying to help, Greg.
They were trying to help.
Who cares about that ball?
They were trying to help themselves.
Trying to help their
flew out
team.
on the field. They didn't even reach for it or ask the ball boy or anything. They knew what had to be done, and they did it.
That's the biggest mystery in sports to me. Is they wanted the ball.
Be.
It's an $8 baseball.
Right.
Why are fans going after these balls? Now I can see if it's Ohtani's 65th home run ball or something. That's a special ball, obviously.
50th.
But this ball, it's just a regular fly out.
That's why we're saying they weren't going after the ball. They were trying to motivate their team. They were letting the team know it's another Freeman home run. We're about to get swept. Hey, guys, drastic times call for drastic measures.
Okay.
Let's start playing harder.
Yeah.
Let's start playing better. We're going to do what we have to do. You do what you have to do.
Greg, in the 20 CB in the movies, what? I have to make sure no one's talking so I can talk.
Yeah, heaven forbid we
Is
would
it
talk
clear?
over each other.
So, exactly. So, in the 20 CB, Greg, in the movies, when someone would be acting hysterical or not themselves, what would you do? You had to slap them out of it, and they wake up, and all of a sudden, they're there again. That's what happened. That's what those fans did. They looked around, they said, we're down 3-0. This team is lifeless.
Boom.
I need to slap them, but I can't.
No slapping.
Can't slap them because it's the 21st century, man. And so
Well,
they
it's
can't.
just wrong.
No,
Yeah,
well,
it's not
20
just 'cause
CB
of-
was
yeah,
fine.
okay.
20 CB was fine. 21st century, it's not.
Right.
So,
No,
so
front end, he
it
said
wasn't, but it was.
no, it was
accepted.
fine.
Not to me,
I
it was
watched
fine.
enough movies, buddy. It was fine.
then.
So they can't jump down there, right? Like you said, that would be trespassing on their behalf.
Yeah.
So what do? It comes when opportunity knocks. Greg, some people say, oh, maybe that's for someone else. And some people say, that's for me. And those guys open the door and say, hello, opportunity. Give me that goddamn ball. I'm going to take that ball. Here, grab me. Hold it.
I'll tell you
And
what.
they brought Yankees back. We're back in the World Series, baby. Let's go.
Some people are doers and some people are watchers. Had those men been on the Titanic, I'll tell you what, still be sailing today.
It would have been less ridiculous if the guy started biting the glove.
If those guys were on the Titanic, I'd try to sink it again. I'd resurrect it so that I could
sink
sink
it the
it
first
again.
time? Admission?
Hey folks, it's Mike Ryan. Basketball season is starting. In the pros, there's nothing like it. The celebrities, the sights, the sounds, the in-game atmosphere. You want to be in that building. And sometimes tickets are in demand. So what do? You go to the secondary market. Well, you know where I go. Game Time. For me, the top of the line when it comes to the secondary ticket marketplace. Game Time has this new exciting feature that I can't wait to tell you about. It's called Game Time Picks, and it makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. With Game Time Picks, it helps to make curation easier to save even more on sports, comedy, theater, and even more. And they've got all-in pricing. You hit a button, and there are no surprises at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NBA is finally back. Thank goodness. And a new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's draining threes from beyond the arc? Who's crashing the boards and getting rebounds? Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player prop. New DraftKings customers bet just $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN, that's D-A-N, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know, to check you have the tickets in your wallet first before you drive 2 hours to the big game. Seriously, you had one job. Now the closest you'll get to the 50-yard line is parking lot D. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Dan Le Batard.
What do I got here? I got a Magnum condom. We won't get that out.
That's shocking.
Stugotz.
Here's a picture of Christopher when he was like 3 years old.
Right next to the condom.
Yeah.
As a subtle reminder.
Yeah.
Never forget.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Greg Cote has gotten a little carried away here, and I just want to slightly rein him in because he's feeling ganged up on, and he's feeling like he's a bit crazy to be alone on what to him is an obvious opinion. So among the things he's done recently in this crazed state of his is he gave someone a 65th home run, which would not be a record of any kind for any reason.
I rounded it up.
You gave Ohtani a 65th home run, and you also said that the single biggest mystery in sports is somebody wanting a baseball.
Yeah. It's an $8 prize.
Not anymore. That's back when slapping was acceptable. They're like $30 now.
A Major League Baseball?
Yeah, go to a store like $29.99. If I were to go now, I bet you it's $34.99. It's crazy.
Unless that has a gold chip in it, it's not worth more than $8.
You think the biggest mystery in sports is why anybody would want a baseball? And all I want to do in terms of reining you in, because you've had a tough 24 hours. Okay, you didn't like that you were bumped off the show yesterday when you wanted to debut the selling of your book,
right?
And you didn't love that your son, your beloved son, over the last 24 hours has been caught in a right-wing storm that involves him and porn.
Yeah, no, I love that. That was great. I was very proud to hear my son interacting with perhaps the future Vice President of the United States. That was quite a moment. Thank you, son.
Even though it was weaponized by the right.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Weaponized, please. It is a harmless. First, I didn't even know he said porn. I thought he said corn. We are pro-corn, okay? I raised him to be pro-corn. We love corn. Corn on the cob, canned corn, Mexican corn.
Cream of corn?
Cream, not so much.
Really?
We don't like cream of corn.
Wow.
That's where you draw the line.
It's trash corn?
Listen, here's something I've done with cream corn. I take it out of the can, I put it in a colander, and I run water over it to get all the quote-unquote cream out of it, and then we're left with pristine kernels.
Wow.
But the point is, we are a pro-corn family.
Yep.
And always have been.
Mm-hmm.
No
mystery there.
No.
Right.
That is the point, of course. That is the point. So, Chris, what was the funniest of what it is that happened to you yesterday? Because you got weaponized. It was a throwaway question at the end of the interview. I don't know if the video department has your face frozen as you're trying to ask a question of the vice president or the governor, coach. And your face freezes up because you're just terrified that you've tried to have a porn conversation at the end of our interview, an interview that was a bit pressurized. I felt a lot around us during that, like a lot of people watching that were rooting for something bad to happen.
Look, we do comedy around here, and when someone lobs something up for you, we've been trained to spike it home. And you lobbed one up for me, Dan, and I had a moment of, do I do it? I was like, double Dutch jump rope. I was just like, do I do this? Do I do this? And I did it. And that look on my face is me looking at Dan because I was just unsure of whether I did something right or not. And I've gone back and forth all night. It's been a roller coaster. I've gone to completely regretting it. Oh my God, am I actually going to affect the election? This is the...
You're not.
I mean, I don't think so.
No, obviously me, but that clip went viral. Okay, good.
Swaying voters, Chris, you have that video swaying voters. Like, you know what? I was going to vote for him, but
I'm talking about what the right did with it, guys. Like I know
you're gonna look silly, but you're not changing the results of the election.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm affecting the election. I went back and forth. I was proud of it. You know, Zion. No bad pub. My mentions were ugly. I've rarely in my life had to be like, I'm just going to stop looking at Twitter.
Chris.
So I had to do that.
You realize what you are.
What am I?
You're Tony Hinchcliffe on the other side. Oh, boy. They've got Tony Hinchcliffe. We've got Chris Cote. That's what Kamala's saying today.
One of the things I'd like to go over a number of different things over here. I have some regrets from yesterday as well, but I am truly stunned as the world moves a little too fast for me in terms of how divided we are and how scary a week from now can possibly be. I'm a bit stunned, still somehow naive, that the thing that would come out of MSG would be, a Puerto Rican joke. Is with all of the things that have happened over the last 4 years for Bad Bunny and Puerto Rican celebrity to be like, nah, you went after us now and that's not good enough. And that's somehow resonating more than all the other shit that's been done to black people and women, that would be the thing, a comedian making a joke that would make even Jon Stewart and Keith Olbermann to argue with each other because Jon Stewart's defending comedy. Like, just be funny. And Keith Olbermann's like, man, the apocalypse is coming in a week. Like, I know we want to laugh, but something crazy is coming in 8 days.
How'd you find Keith Olbermann?
Yeah, I mean, like
KO.
A World Series baseball, by the way, with the baseball emblem and it's saying 2024 World Series, $39.99.
Sold out at Dodger Stadium, Game 1. Dan, I tried to get one.
Yeah.
They didn't have them.
Nice keeps.
The greatest mystery in sports, according to Greg Cote, is that.
I've seen it so many times. You watch a ball go into the outfield,
right,
and there's a grown man leaping across bleacher seats and rows to steal the ball from a little 6-year-old child who's about to grab it with his tiny paw. Why? Why are you doing that? It's a worthless souvenir. Okay? It costs $8, in my opinion.
Well, no, he just told you otherwise.
Okay, so it costs $29.
I'm with Greg on this.
Why are you taking it from a little kid?
Literally said $39.
I know, but unless it's a meaningful ball that has some value, why are we scrambling around, prying balls out of kids' hands? What are we doing?
Yes.
I mean,
This one doesn't say if there's confetti inside or not, so I don't know if that ups the value.
Or a snake.
The snake is the best one. We agree that the snake...
The living snake or the other one?
That'd be a really small snake.
The living snake is too complicated. You keep crossing the line with something that's clearly ridiculous.
Listen, I saw a video of an Uber pick up someone yesterday that didn't have a driver, okay? We figured it out. We can get a snake inside that baseball.
No, you've gone too far. You keep doing the living snake, and I'm telling you, we're right at the line with what is possible from technology.
Well, snakes are born in eggs, aren't they? What's the difference between a baseball and an egg?
That's a good point. How does he breathe in there, though?
It's a good inside the egg? I don't know.
I mean, the egg is breathable.
How?
That's the way they stay alive as an embryo.
Mm-hmm.
But a baseball would not be breathable.
Make a breathable ball.
Boom.
That's another good point.
There's breathable shirts now? Why can't we have breathable balls?
That's a good point. Yeah. All right, get on that, whoever's in charge of that. Go ahead. I'm too busy trying to promote a book. What? Nothing. By the way, why is Tony wearing a tank top?
I was wondering that too.
Am I the only one who has it occurred me to ask? There's somebody in our studio wearing a tank top. I'm just curious why. I'm not criticizing it. That'll come later.
Greg. Let's settle.
A lot of words at one time.
Let's settle down.
Right.
Let's look. You're revving.
Take it easy on him.
Really high, and you're crazed.
Yeah. Crazed.
Look. You came in here today.
Yeah. Book week.
Election year.
Election year. Book week. Maniacal fans. There's a lot going on here. My bandwidth is exploding.
His son asked the vice
My
president.
kid loves porn. I'm trying to process that.
And corn.
And corn.
Yeah.
Well, we all love corn. Cotes and corn.
Not cream of corn.
COTECORN.
Yeah, the C in Cody stands for corn.
You can't spell Cote without corn.
You cream you.
I put the CO in corn.
You can spell
You
Cody.
can spell Cody. If he's correcting you.
No, you can't.
You
need a C
without
and an
the
O.
C, right?
You need a C and an O.
But then you've just got to co.
Just leave it alone.
Well, the R and the N are silent in this instance.
I wish you were too. An actual snake.
He's not going to let it go.
No bad ideas.
Actually, that is a bad idea. Is what I'm saying. I'm saying you had it right. You had it perfect. Is what I'm saying. When you just made it, a ball cracks open and a rubber snake goes out.
Right.
You make it an actual anaconda. Now you've gone too far.
There has to be a spring in there, right? Like, is that right, Billy?
Not if it's real.
Oh,
Greg.
Yeah.
I need you to settle in to the rest of the show because you're revving high because you're excited about your book. You came in here angry at us because we bumped you yesterday. You're heightened because your son has been weaponized by the right wing. We will get to why Tony's wearing that shirt in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, what happened with the attack? Because there was some funny stuff around this, which included Walz saying something unfortunate, something that sounded unfortunate around the subject of porn, and it almost feels like AI, the way that the right wing ends up weaponizing the end of this in a way that devours Chris Cote yesterday because it's just an attack, and then everyone's just yelling tampon Tim because this is where we are in the discussion. But the unfortunate word choice at the end of this made other people pick it up as if they'd heard him wrong. Coach, thank you for the time. I think you might have swayed down the middle Chris here. I think he's
the
voting.
porn thing.
I'm pro-porn.
Yeah, pro-porn.
Okay, excellent work by you guys.
Hey, you do what you do. You be you. You be you is my thought.
It's the you beat you.
Look, so he undeniably says you beat you. Now the only debate here is, and then he very quickly says you be you. Was it intentional? Or was it just a mistake he made and he corrected himself? So
An
that's
obvious mistake that has been picked up by the right wing.
Or he's going for a good joke.
No, that was an obvious mistake.
I mean, somebody said aloud, I'm pro-porn, and he has to react. So he reacted with a quip. Which I thought was perfectly fitting.
Okay, but you were outraged by the behavior of fans here, and now the religious right wing is saying that you beat you is not very vice presidential to say when you're celebrating porn, which, generally speaking, while most people listening to this might be pro-porn, I do believe that a great many indignant people out there wouldn't like their candidates to be morally pro-porn.
And we gather from him making that quip that means he's morally pro-porn. Seriously.
What I took from it is you do what you want, man. Like people do.
You beat you. Yeah. You beat you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But when I texted my mom that clip that we just posted,
mortified,
and I tweeted out, "Mom, I made it," just because I was kind of going
famous is
viral.
the only thing that matters.
So I text my mom that, and my mom with the appropriate response of, "How did the subject of porn come up?" And I just wrote Dan.
Wow.
Attaboy.
So you do it.
I hadn't heard the backlash that you guys are talking about. Maybe my bubbles are just different from your bubbles. So I just Googled it right now. I found a website called The Midwesterner.
Wow, good publication.
And
I'm sure they liked it.
The headline is Slip. Tim Walz tells pro-porn podcaster, you beat you. So pro-porn.
Come on.
Is that me or is that Chris Cote?
No, it's a picture of you pointing at him.
You beat you.
Wait a minute.
That's basically Dan saying, "Hey, I love."
Can't believe you said it.
I didn't say that I was pro-porn. I said down the middle Chris was voting yesterday, and I just sort of was talking about the more important thing here, which is Project 2025, which is a democracy destroyer, and the more relevant thing we should be talking about instead of making jokes about porn, because in 8 days, anarchy's coming.
But in Project 25, they want to get rid of porn, and that's the point you made. And then Walz was like, "Well, we're against that." And then Dan's like, "You swayed Chris," and I'm like, "Well, I am pro-porn." Like, you tossed it up for me, Dan.
Right.
I'm like, it was a bump. And then the Walz bumped it, you said it, and I came in and
Right. Who's not pro-porn anyway, honestly?
Thank you, Stugotz.
No, there are plenty of people that are not pro-porn. Come on.
Pro or anti, why are we worried about porn?
Yeah.
There are so many things to worry about in this country, from global warming to crime to the economy, whatever. Why are we worried about some 14-year-old kid in his bedroom looking at a Playboy? Why are we worried about that?
The good old days.
That's what you think. Wait a minute.
Minors into this.
Listen, we had Greg and I growing up. We had to work really hard for porn. We did. We had to work really hard to find porn anywhere.
Really hard for porn.
It wasn't just there. It wasn't
Really
so
hard.
willy-nilly. I mean,
exactly.
Jeez. There were rules. I mean,
that's how you think it happened.
There's no internet back then. When I'm 13 years old, I'm in the bathroom with a Playboy.
Or a penthouse.
All right. Listen.
13?
Whatever. 15 maybe. I was young for my age.
Destroying America.
Mm-hmm. Young for your age.
I mean, when I was 15, I looked 13.
Right. Early start.
Yeah. Thank you. When I graduated from high school, I weighed 130 pounds.
Oh boy.
I looked like a jockey picking up my diploma. Everybody howled laughter as I'm walking across the stage. Where were we?
I think all of us had the same reaction to the same thing, which is a quaint, antiquated time in porn. When all of porn was a 14-year-old boy looking at a Playboy, reading the articles.
Or a penthouse.
Yeah, well, that came later.
Or a Sears catalog. I mean... Or the SI swimsuit edition.
Yeah, that.
Right.
What are you looking at in a Sears catalog?
Is there any truth to that's why Sears and Roebuck broke up, Greg?
I don't know. Whenever somebody says Sears and Roebuck, my grandma Nana used to refer to it as Sears and Roberts. Nobody knew why. She just couldn't get Roebuck with such an unusual word. Sears and Roberts.
So, Billy, did you have Roebuck being upset with Sears?
One of them was upset with the other, I think, over the what was in that catalog, I would guess.
Yeah. What was in that catalog?
Tell me.
What's in a Sears catalog? Seriously. There's no porn in there.
Seriously.
They sell negligees? A woman in a negligee riding a tractor? What's going on in that catalog? I have no idea.
Put it on the poll, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Would you buy a negligee from the Sears catalog?
Is negligee still a thing? I feel like it's gone, right?
What is it?
Lingerie.
Is it
came
lingerie?
in and no, pushed negligee out. I feel like we've advanced.
I feel like they're not called negligees anymore.
They don't exist. That was on the 20 CB.
There's probably still the piece of clothing, but it's probably has a new word. What would it be called, the new word? I have no idea.
You'll find it.
Yeah.
Sears and Roberts.
Yeah. She misspoke a lot. She was like a Yogi Berra.
Nana?
One of the things she said was Sears and Roberts. I have no idea why. Oh, that's the Sears catalog. Voom. Wow.
Howdy, loyal audience. It's Mike Ryan, and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of football season, which means you've probably enjoyed more than a few tailgates, and right by your side at that tailgate is that beautiful white can of Miller Lite. From defending your favorite team after a bad loss to obsessively checking your fantasy lineups, football fandom is bigger than just Sundays. Miller Lite knows the passion that comes with rooting for your team, like the debate that sparked in 1975. Great taste versus less filling. So what's the best thing about the original light beer? Let it be both. It is for me. Miller Lite keeps it simple. Undebatable quality with great taste and only 96 calories. It's a beer that strips away everything that you don't need and holds on to what matters most. A light beer that actually tastes like beer. And the original light beer since 1975. Make your game time taste like Miller time. Tastes great and less filling. Let it be both. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.